golden radio hour.
X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, X minus 1, fire.
Tonight, George Lefferts's original radio drama of the 21st century, Parigi's Wonderful Dolls.
The doll shop stood on a quiet Washington side street, not too far from the sprawling Pentagon building. A woman and a child waited outside, the little girl peering eagerly through the window at the dolls inside, and the woman glancing impatiently at her wristwatch, as if expecting someone who was late for an appointment. And there was nothing about the doll shop to warn them that they were waiting to keep an appointment with doom.
Oh, Mommy, look!
Yes, what is it, dear?
In the window of the shop, the tiny dolls. Oh, Mommy, do you think Daddy will buy me one?
Well, we'll ask him when he comes, dear. He said 3 o'clock on this corner.
I see him, Mommy. There he is.
Oh, Henry, here we are.
Hello, dear.
Hi.
Sorry I'm late.
Well, we've been waiting for you. Cindy's been
Yes,
telling...
I'm afraid I'll have to call off the shopping, Alma.
Oh, Henry, we promised.
Yes, I know.
Cindy.
I'm sorry. It's just one of those things. You've been the wife of an army colonel long enough to know his life isn't his own.
What is it this time?
Oh, some more of that flying sphere nonsense. The pilot who says he sighted it last month crashed and was killed today, so the general wants a full report.
Dear, what next?
Daddy.
I'll have a staff meeting at the Pentagon at 3:15.
Daddy, look in this window.
Oh, I haven't time, dear.
Just for a minute, Daddy, please.
Indeed. I haven't time to stop and watch a bunch of 6-inch dolls parading around the shop. Say, they are lifelike, aren't they? Look at that, Alma. Dolls are marching around like a regular review. They've even got their own little band.
Henry, your staff meeting.
Hmm? Oh, yeah. Yes, I've got to run. Now, look, don't go spending a lot of money on that nonsense, Alma.
No, dear.
Bye.
Bye, dear.
Bye, Cindy.
Bye, Daddy. Oh, Mommy, look. Look, the band's going to play.
Aren't they wonderful, honey? You know, it's funny. I must have stood on this corner 1,000 times, and I've never even noticed this shop before.
Good evening, children.
Oh, well, good evening.
Mommy, he talks awful funny.
Hush, Cindy.
Would you like to step inside the shop of Santor Perigi?
Well, yes, we would.
This way.
Oh, Mommy, it's like beer.
Here in the shop of Santor Perigi, creator of Perigi's Universal Wonderful Dolls, the world of adult reality is blended with the world of child's fantasy.
This is a new shop, isn't it, Mr. Parigi?
What is new and what is old? Come, this way. Would you like to meet one of my little ones?
Oh, yes.
This one in the red jacket is Toto. Speak, little one.
How do you do? How do you do?
Why, isn't that wonderful?
Mommy, he talks. The doll talks.
Amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
That is nothing for Perigi's Wonderful Dolls. Listen, sing, Toto. Sing for the little girl.
My name is Toto.
Cindy, listen.
Sing, Toto.
Men are big and tall. Dolls are very small. When men begin to fall, the dolls will rule them all.
Oh, more! Toto, more! Well, how do they work, Mr. Parigi?
How do they work? That is the secret of the great Perigi, greatest of all doll masters. To make an ordinary doll is nothing. To make a perfect replica, that is something. But to make a doll with intelligence, that is the work of an artist, huh?
Well, yes. Well, they must be very expensive.
Madame, when I construct a doll like Toto, I cannot bear to be parted from him permanently. So instead of selling, I rent my little people.
You rent dolls?
Precisely. $10. I have but one request. When you grow tired of my dolls, you must return them to me in good condition.
Oh, Mommy, could we take him home?
Take him home. Take him home. Take him home.
Oh, look, Mommy, look. He's bowing and dancing. Oh, Mommy, he wants to come. Please, I'll take such good care of it, please.
Well, honey, we'll have to deal with your father later, but... Well...
Oh, Mommy.
All right, wrap him up, Mr. Parigi. Oh, dear, I have a feeling when your father comes home, we'll be sorry.
Be sorry. Be sorry. Be sorry. Be sorry.
Now, Toto, it's my room, and you're going to sleep right here next to my pillow. Oh, Toto, don't laugh like that. I'm going to have to teach you some manners. You be quiet, because my daddy will be home soon, and he's a colonel in the army, and he'll bust you to private if you don't behave. Now, you wait here. I'm going to introduce you to my puppy dog, Mr. Blister. So be good now. Here, Blister. Here, Blister. Come on, Blister. Come here. Mr. Blister, now this is Toto. Oh, dear, I don't think Mr. Blister likes you, Toto. Stop it, Mr. Blister. Come over here and shake hands with Toto, Mr. Blister. Come on now. Mr. Blister, let him go. Let go. Let go.
Cindy, Mr. Blister, come over here. Why, what happened, dear?
Mr. Blister tried to bite my doll. Look how frightened Toto is.
Dolls don't get frightened, Cindy.
But he is, Mommy. He screamed.
You just imagined it, honey.
But he did. He did.
Well, Mr. Blister didn't mean it. You know he's the gentlest little pup alive.
He isn't. He's nasty and I hate him.
Cindy, you've hurt his feelings.
Okay. He tried to buy my new doll, and I don't ever want to see him again. Ever.
Oh, dear. All right, Mr. Blister. You come downstairs with me. Come on now. Cindy's angry at you tonight.
I'll kill him.
Why, Cindy, where did you hear a thing like that?
Toto said it.
Well, I see. Well, you've had an exciting day, honey. You brush your teeth now and go to bed. Daddy's coming home late, so we'll see you in the morning. Hmm? Good night, darling. Sleep well.
I hate him, Mr. Toto. I hate him.
Hate him, hate him, hate him, hate him.
Morning, Alma. Breakfast ready?
Just a minute. How was the staff meeting last night, dear?
Oh, horrible bore as usual. Where's the little one?
Up in her room. She'll be down in a minute.
Oh, say, remind me to take some papers back to the War Department, will you? I left them in my strong box.
Henry, you told me it was against regulations to bring secret papers home.
Well, I had to finish some work for the old man. Nobody will ever know the difference.
Well, I suppose not. Oh, dear, would you feed the puppy before we sit down? His bowl's under the sink.
Where is he? See, that's funny. Here's his supper from last night, only half eaten.
He's getting fussy.
Blister? Here, Blister. Blister! Where the dickens is that mutt?
Maybe he's on the back porch.
Oh, maybe. Here, Blister. Here, Blister. Alma.
What is it, dear?
Alma, look.
Why, Henry. Is he?
Yes, he's dead.
But how? What happened?
From the looks of it, he might have been poisoned.
Poisoned? Who on earth would do a thing like that to an innocent little pup?
I don't know. Let's see his dish.
Oh, Henry.
I don't understand this at all. Say, what's this?
What's what?
Well, look, there are pieces of broken glass in his food. Blue glass.
Glass? Glass. Henry.
Huh?
Well, I just remembered something.
What?
It may just be coincidence, but in the bathroom this morning...
What about the bathroom?
Cindy's blue glass, you know, the one with the Mickey Mouse on it.
Mm-hmm.
It was broken, Henry. I found pieces in the wastebasket. I meant to ask her about it.
Oh, Alma, for heaven's sake, you aren't suggesting that our little girl... Why, she loved Blister more than anyone.
Not last night, she didn't.
Why not?
Well, he went after Toto.
Well, who's Toto?
Oh, her new doll.
You bought her one of those dolls?
Well, I just rented it.
Rented it?
Yes.
Look, Alma,
Oh, no.
Oh, well, all right. Well, what's this got to do with Blister?
He went for the doll, and Cindy... Well, Cindy said... Henry, she said she'd kill him.
What? Well, that's ridiculous.
True.
Good heavens, a 9-year-old child putting ground glass and dog food? She'd have to be a monster.
Mommy.
Now, don't say anything. I'll talk to her.
Good morning, dear.
Morning, Mommy.
Morning,
Daddy.
Hello.
What's the matter?
Nothing, Cindy. Sit down, dear.
Yes, sir.
Cindy, your mother tells me you broke your blue drinking glass.
Oh, no, I didn't break it.
Now, Cindy...
I didn't.
Well, now, somebody broke it. It wasn't your mother and it wasn't me.
Well, then it must have been Toto.
Cynthia.
Cindy, you know Toto was only a doll. Now, a doll couldn't have broken your glass, could he? Well?
But he must have done it, Daddy.
Cindy, you know how Daddy feels about little girls who tell untruths. I'd hate to think you'd done something you knew was wrong and you were blaming it on a doll.
What's the matter with Mr. Blister? Is he sick?
He's dead, Cindy.
Oh, no, he can't be dead. He isn't dead, Daddy. No, he isn't. He isn't. Mommy,
Yes, dear.
but he'll come back. He has to come back.
No, he won't come back, honey.
Not ever.
No, Cindy, not ever.
Now that we've told you, Cindy, do you want to change your mind about the glass?
Henry, let her alone.
Daddy, you think I killed?
I'll see what you've done. The child feels guilty enough, Henry.
Oh, dear, this is no time for feelings to interfere.
Feelings don't know any time, Henry. When they come, they just come. You go up to your room, honey. Daddy and I'll be up in just a minute.
I don't want to.
Please, Cindy. We'll be right up. Please. There, that's a good girl. And close the kitchen door behind you.
Mr. Blister's dead. He isn't coming back. Ever. Ever. Daddy thinks it was me, but it was you. It was you!
You're listening to NBC Radio's award-winning science fiction series, X-1. Now we return to X-1 and Parigi's Wonderful Dolls.
Eat your supper, dear.
I'm not hungry.
Oh, Cindy, you scarcely touched your lunch.
I don't feel like eating.
Is it Mr. Blister?
Oh, Mama.
Cindy, answer your mother.
Now, Henry, she'll work it out in her own way, dear.
Oh, I don't know. When I was a boy, there was such a thing as discipline. Where this child is being brought up...
Henry.
Well, it's true. There's no respect. Lying. Oh, I don't know. Alma, what's happened to us? We were a nice, peaceful, happy family until you bought that cursed doll.
Now who's blaming things on the doll?
Well, it's true.
Henry. You wanted to get some papers from your strongbox.
What? Oh, yes. Excuse me.
Will you try to eat something, Cindy? Now, darling.
Yes, dear.
Alma. Alma.
Yes, Henry, what is it?
Alma, it's gone.
What's gone?
The box, the strong box is gone.
But it can't be. The door to your study's always locked, and you and I have the only key.
I know all that, and I tell you it isn't there.
Well, who would
I don't know, Alma. Those confidential reports, if they ever get into the wrong hands...
Oh, I warned you about keeping them here.
Oh, what if it ever came out in the open? Can't you see the papers? Army colonel, derelict in duty.
Call the police, Henry.
What, and throw my career in the wastebasket after 17 years? And we've got to find it ourselves.
But it was there when I went in to clean this morning.
Well, what about your key?
Well, it's right here. I always keep it right with me. That's funny.
Oh, no.
But my other keys are all on the ring.
You've lost it.
I don't see how.
Alma, how could you do it?
Henry, please.
Come on, we'll search the house. I can't think of anything else to do.
Oh, dear, you're going to miss your staff meeting.
Well, all right, never mind the meeting. My whole career goes up in smoke if we don't find those reports. Now, somebody get hold of your key and open that room. I know, Cindy.
Oh, let the child alone. She's been through enough. You know she wouldn't do a thing like that.
I don't know anything anymore. I don't know my own child. I don't even know you.
Henry.
All I know is that strongbox is gone with papers that are dynamite if the wrong person gets them. The question being who? What's that?
Coming from upstairs.
Dodo, kill him. How do you do?
Stop
How
it.
do you do? How do you do?
Blasted little imp! There.
Henry.
Ever since we've got this thing...
Henry.
What?
Look.
Where? What?
Around the doll's neck. The key. The key to your study.
It was Cindy, after all.
I don't believe it.
Ever since she got this fool doll, she's been acting half insane. First the dog, now this. I think she hates us, Alma.
Henry, Cindy is my child, and I know her. I know she's a good, sensitive little person with no malice in her.
You're just simply refusing to face the facts, dear.
What are you going to do?
I'm going downstairs and have a talk with that young lady. Cindy, you're not telling me the truth.
Oh, yes, I am, Daddy.
Now, all I'm asking is that you tell me the truth. Now, where is it?
I didn't take it, Daddy. Honest, I didn't take it.
I suppose you're going to tell me now that a little 6-inch doll took my strongbox and hid it. Well? Cindy, I'm speaking to you.
I didn't take it, Daddy. You don't understand. Toto did it. Oh, he's terrible awful. He says things. He says he's going to kill everybody.
Oh, Cindy, you're inventing things.
It's true. At night when I'm sleeping, he stands next to my pillow and whispers things to me. Awful things. He told me he'd kill me, too, if I told him.
Alma, I think this child is sick. I think she needs a doctor.
Frightened, Henry. She's trembling like a leaf. Come on, darling. We'll go up to your room.
I don't want to go
No,
up
honey,
there.
Mommy'll stay with you.
I'm afraid. He's up there.
Who, Cindy?
Toto.
Well, he won't be up there for long. Mr. Toto is going right back to Parigi's wonderful doll shop before I lose my sanity, which means right now.
Ah, Colonel Grayson. Welcome to the home of Parigi's wonderful doll.
Are you Parigi?
Santor Parigi, creator of the universal doll. The doll with the mind. The doll
Yes,
with...
well, I'm returning one of your masterpieces.
Oh? If you will step into the rear of my shop. Now, what is the complaint?
There's no complaint. Here's your doll. Good riddance.
My little Toto, rejected, you found the world of men too filled with hate.
Hate!
We will change all that later on. Return to your comrades in the window, little one. And now, Colonel Grayson?
I think we have no further business, sir.
Ah, but we do, Colonel. Let me see. Here it is. Do you recognize this, Colonel?
That's my strong box. Where?
My little Toto is very clever, sir.
Are you trying to tell me your doll stole that from me?
Let us not say stole. I'm merely keeping it in custody.
What's your game, Parigi?
Blackmail. You give me what I want, I do not ruin your career.
What do you want?
Information. We already know something from the reports of the War Department, reported by one of your pilots.
What government do you represent?
I represent Parigi's wonderful dolls, none other.
I'm not so naive, sir.
Perhaps I should explain. Each man hides something from the world. Each man loves something more than life. With the help of my wonderful dolls, I obtain personal information which enables me to control the men who control the world. Men like you.
Hand over that strong box.
I warn you, I have a gun.
Give it to me.
You are being foolish. Put down that walking stick.
Now.
No closer.
Now. Hello. Give me the police. Hello. This is Colonel Henry Grayson. I've just killed a man. Parigi's doll shop, corner of 4th and Lexington. The body is in the rear. I'll wait for you. Shut up. Shut up, you little fiend!
Colonel Grayson!
Did I hear you speak?
Colonel Henry Grayson!
Oh, it can't be. I must be going out of my mind. A 6-inch doll. Shut up! Your master's dead.
You are mistaken, Colonel. I, Toto, am the master.
What do you mean?
If you will examine the body of Santo Parigi, you will see that he does not bleed. And he does not bleed, Colonel, because Santo Parigi never lived.
Never lived.
Santo Parigi is a doll.
A doll? But he's a man. He talks. He walks.
The people of Meretrix are skillful doll builders.
Meretrix? Doll builder? Who are you?
I am Xanthus Imperator, commander of the legions of the third planetoid, Meretrix.
Legions? Planetoid?
My people and I, whom you regard as dolls, come from a tiny planet beyond the moon.
What?
So small that it cannot support our population.
That's true.
We landed one of our space spheres on Earth 3 months ago with the intention of colonizing. Unfortunately, one of your pilots intercepted us.
So that's why you wanted our information.
Precisely.
And you are human?
Quite human. Of course, in order to deal with Earth people without suspicion, we were forced to construct Parigi, a man-sized doll.
No, it can't be. I can't believe this. I'm I'm having hallucinations. I've got to get out of here.
That will be impossible. We have weapons of destruction quite unknown to Earth people.
I phoned the police. They'll be here soon.
By the time they arrive, my people will have prepared something quite shocking.
Keep me covered, Ryan.
Okay, Sarge.
All right. You the guy who turned in the call?
Yes, that's right, Sergeant.
Where's the body?
Well, you see, it isn't exactly a body.
What do you mean?
It's a doll.
What?
Now, wait, you've got to let me explain. I know this sounds fantastic, but I've stumbled onto an unbelievable plot.
Yeah? Keep talking.
Well, you see, these little dolls, they aren't really dolls. They're tiny people. Now, there's a big doll named Santor Parigi. They're using him as a front to run the shop.
He's off his trolley, Sarge.
Now, look here.
Now, listen, mister, we got to call it. There was a murder here. Now, if there was one, where is the body?
Well, it's behind the curtains in the back. Only, you see, it isn't really a body. It's a big wax dummy. It's all part of their plot to gain control of the world.
Holy smoke, he's really off his rocker.
Now, look, if you don't believe me, I'll prove it to you. Come here. Look behind this curtain, and you'll see the dummy lying on the floor.
Welcome, gentlemen. Are you looking for something?
Parigi. This is impossible. I smashed his skull.
Do you know this guy?
That's the one, the doll.
What's your name, mister?
Parigi, Santor Parigi, creator of the Universal Doll.
Uh-huh. Did you ever see this man?
Never until just now.
That's not true. He's lying. I tell you, he's nothing but a big doll. The real masters are the little dolls.
Ryan, are you getting this?
He's wacko, Sarge.
No,
He's a fruitcake.
I'm not crazy, I tell you. I can prove it. They must have fixed up his head where I smashed it in. Touch him and you'll see.
Mr. Parigi, you know what this guy is talking about?
The man is demented, obviously.
No, that's not true. I tell you, there's a plot to control the Earth. I've got to call the War Department. They want to know about the flying sphere.
Holy mackerel, this gets worse every minute. Ryan.
Take him to headquarters?
No, save some time. Take him down to Psycho Ward.
Okay, all right, Buck
Oh, wait.
Rogers. Come along nice and quiet.
No, don't you see? He's nothing but a man-sized doll.
Sure, and the little ones are going to take over the Earth, and you're going wait and cut out some...
Listen to me. You've got to...
Sorry you had all this trouble, Mr. Parigi.
Poor chap. He is obviously suffering from delusions.
Well, he's not the only one in Washington today. You know, we've been getting a whole string of crack-ups lately. Bigwigs blowing their tops under pressure. If you could see some of the names in our confidential files.
You keep confidential files on cases like this?
Certainly. Believe me, they'd be dynamite if they ever got in the wrong hands. Well, I better be running along. I'll be. My little girl would be nuts for that.
So? Then please accept the doll for saving my life. That madman might have killed me.
Yes, but
Take Toto home with you as a gift.
Well, now, I don't know, Mr. Parigi. It's against regulations for us to accept favors.
But this is not for you. It is for your little daughter. And if you will only take the doll and give him a good home, you will be doing me a great favor.
Well, then, if you insist, and thanks very much. When my kid sees this, will she be surprised?
Yes, Toto will come as a great surprise. A very great surprise. Eh, Toto?
This was from the world of X-1. Tonight's story, Parigi's Wonderful Dolls, an original drama written for NBC Radio by George Lefferts. Featured in the cast were Denise Alexander, Joan Alexander, Les Damon, Joe DeSantis, and Leon Janney as the doll Toto. Music by Al Behrman, narration by Norman Rose. Tonight's program was directed by Edward King, executive producer Robert Wogan.
It is midnight, and an old automobile is driving along a narrow road through the woods. At a point where a second road, even narrower, crosses the first, the car stops.
Here you are, young fella. This is the professor's place.
Is it? All I can see is woods.
It's up that road, about 50 yards. Look sharp, and you can see the light shining between them two trees.
Huh? Oh, yes, I see it now. Then I guess I get out here. Would you hand me my bag, Sheriff Ramsey?
Right. Here you are.
Thanks. And that's $1 I owe you, right?
Yep. Thank you. You know the professor, do you?
Yes. I was Professor Clark's laboratory assistant back in college 10 years ago.
Oh.
Why?
I was thinking maybe you could drop a hint to him.
A hint? What kind of a hint?
Well, that there's been some talk in town of running him and that man of his, that Barton, fell out of the county.
Running Professor Clark? Oh, you're not serious.
Yep. Of course, it's just talk. So far.
But what has anybody got against Professor Clark? There isn't a milder man in the world.
Well, maybe so, but folks has got wind of what happened at the state penitentiary over in Hillvale last year.
Sheriff, you're talking in riddles. What did happen?
The professor went over there when they hanged Richard, that hold-up killer.
Uh-huh.
And the warden gave the professor the murderer's brain. That's what happened.
Oh, what of it? Professor Clark is a great authority on nerve and brain tissues. Maybe he wanted it for research purposes.
I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just telling you how folks are talking. They think he's keeping that brain in a big glass jar and making it grow.
Oh, that's perfectly ridiculous.
Well, they don't think so. They got the notion that brain is as big as a bull calf by now, and they're afraid someday it'll escape.
Sheriff, for a minute I was taking you seriously. A brain as big as a calf?
Oh, I'm not saying I ever believed it, but it'd be a good idea if the professor'd give folks the notion of what he's really doing in that laboratory of his, with that Barton fella to help him. Then maybe the talk would die down.
I understand. All right, Sheriff, I'll mention it to him.
Well, then I'll be getting on. Good night, young fella.
Good night, Sheriff.
Right up that road about 50 yards. You can't miss it.
A few moments later, Dr. Richard Dale was knocking on the door of an old stone house almost hidden among the trees. A frail, white-haired old man answered the door. An old man who could hardly speak in his joy as he gripped Richard Dale's hand. He led the way down a long hall to a great room where strange equipment took up almost every inch of space. Retorts and electric furnaces, generators, batteries, and great glass vats. Dr. Dale stared around him in intense curiosity as Professor Clark helped him off with his hat and coat.
There. Now, sit down, Dick, my boy. Sit down and let me get a good look at you. So, you got my letter? Oh, yes, of course you did, or you wouldn't be here.
Thanks, Professor. Yes, I got your letter, and it made me so curious I took the first train. You promised me a surprise. Well, is this it, this amazing laboratory?
No, my boy. I'll come to that in a moment, after you've met Barton, my assistant.
Barton? I don't seem to know the name. Should I?
No, he's not famous yet. But he will be. And he's been with me only a few months, but I couldn't get along without him.
He certainly sounds interesting.
You'll like him, I'm sure you will. Barton.
Yes, Professor?
Dr. Dale has arrived. I want you to meet him.
Why, of course. How do you do, Dr. Dale? We've both of us been looking forward to your visit.
How do you do? Yes, the professor's letter made me so curious I couldn't stay away. I'm still wondering what the great surprise is he promised me.
You'll see, Dick, in just a minute.
My curiosity's at fever pitch.
Well, it's time to satisfy it. Barton, is Alpha making some coffee?
Yes, he started it when we heard the car.
Alpha? Who is he?
Our general man of all work.
Truly amazing fellow. Here he comes now.
Shall Alpha serve coffee?
Good heavens.
I said you'd be surprised, Dick.
He's not human. He's a machine. A robot.
Yes, my boy. An artificial man made from metal and synthetic brain tissue.
A machine man. But walking and talking.
He's not very pretty, but then the professor was mostly interested in making sure he'd work.
He must weigh a ton.
No, only about 300 pounds. You see, Alpha's mostly aluminum and other light alloys. Inside his aluminum plates are some new batteries I devised, together with miles of fine silver wire and a dozen electric motors. And to give you only the highlights.
It's a good thing you did keep this for a surprise. If you'd mentioned it in your letter, I don't think I would have believed you.
Shall Alpha serve coffee now?
Yes, Alpha. Put it on this table here, and pour a cup for Dr. Dale.
Alpha do so.
Still can't make myself believe it.
Alpha poured coffee.
Go on, Dick. Take it.
Huh? Oh, yes, of course. Al, thank you.
Alpha, this is Dr. Dale, our guest. Any orders he gives are to be obeyed.
Alpha understands.
He looks clumsy, but he poured the coffee as well as a man could.
Yes, my boy, Alpha has capabilities you'd never suspect to look at him. Here, I'll show you. Alpha,
Alpha hears.
the fireplace needs more wood. Put on that big log there.
Alpha do it. Alpha has log.
Now, break it in half.
Alpha break it.
6-inch log, and he's breaking it with his hands.
Alpha put log on fire.
Good. We won't need you any more tonight, Alpha.
You can go back to your room now.
Alpha is going.
Be sure to switch off your batteries. They're going to need recharging tomorrow.
Alpha understands.
That's the most incredible thing I ever saw.
You see, Dick, I try to treat Alpha as if he were really a man. So I give him a room of his own. Like any machine, he's completely inactive when his batteries have been switched off. But his brain continues to function. It's an artificial protoplasm that I spent 8 years creating. It's the only thing that makes him different from any other machine.
But it means Alpha can think. Think like a man.
A machine that can walk and talk and think.
Ah, but Alpha's not the only surprise I have for you, Dick.
He's not?
No, I have another one, even more astonishing. But you'll have to wait until morning to learn about that, because now it's time we were both in bed.
I suppose you're right. It's after 1.
I know you must be tired. I'm getting old, so I'm going up to bed now, Dick. Barton will show you to your room.
Of course, Professor. I'll see you in the morning, then.
Yes, we'll have a long talk tomorrow. Good night.
Good night, Professor Clark.
Oh, Dr. Dale.
Yes, Barton?
Could we talk for a minute before I show you to your room?
Oh, yes, of course.
It occurs to me the professor forgot to tell you why he asked you here.
Oh, yes, that's true. And I've been so interested I forgot to ask.
It was his hope that you'd stay indefinitely and help us carry forward the work we've been doing here.
Stay indefinitely? Well, I have my own work.
Don't say no yet. Now, just think, Dr. Dale. Alpha is stronger and more rugged than a man. He needs no rest, no food. Yet he can do the work of 3 men. He can plow, reap, run machinery. Think how much drudgery a million like him could lift from mankind's shoulders.
Yes, that's true.
And already Alpha is technically obsolete. Professor Clark has the blueprints for a new machine man, as superior to Alpha as an airplane is to a bicycle. We want you to help us build them.
Well, I'm certainly tempted. Perhaps I could arrange.
Ah, excellent. And now there's only one more thing I want to tell you.
Yes? What is it?
It's about Alpha. You must help me persuade the professor to dismantle him.
Dismantle him? Why?
He has become dangerous.
I don't understand.
Because he was the first successful machine man that the professor built. He is imperfect in many ways. He's not completely reliable. I'm afraid that someday he may escape from the house and so do some damage that would seriously upset our plans.
Yes, that could easily happen.
The local inhabitants are unfriendly enough as it is.
I know. Sheriff Ramsey was warning me about that tonight. All right, I'll speak to Professor Clark about it tomorrow.
Ah, good. Then I'll show you to your room now, if you wish.
Yes. I am sleepy.
If you'll just come this way.
mind in a whirl of amazement, Dr. Dale retired and finally fell into an uneasy sleep. How long he had slept, he did not know, when abruptly he woke with a scream ringing in his ears.
Help! Dick! Help! Quick!
The cry came from downstairs. Dr. Dale leaped from his bed and raced down to the lower floor.
Dick! Help! Help me!
In the lower hall, he found Barton hammering on the heavy door of the laboratory.
Professor Clark! Professor Clark, what's wrong?
What's happened?
It's the professor. I heard him call for help.
Huh. Yes, so did I. It woke me up.
The door's locked. He must be in there, but there's no sound in there now.
Well, we've got to break the door down.
Yes. Put your shoulder beside mine.
Right. You ready?
Ready.
And shove. Professor Clark, where are you?
Professor Clark. He's not here.
Yes. Here he is, lying on the floor beside the window. He's been murdered.
It was Alpha. It must have been. No one else could have done it.
But where is Alpha?
The window. It's open. He went out that day.
We've got to go after him.
I'm afraid it's hopeless. At night in these woods, we couldn't possibly find him.
No, you're right.
It'll be morning soon. Then I think he'll come back. He knows that he can only go a few more hours before his batteries must be recharged.
Then we can capture him and destroy him. But, Barton, why did he kill the man who created it?
The professor must have come down to the laboratory for some reason. Occasionally, when he couldn't sleep, he would do that. He may have decided to make some more tests of Alpha.
Yes, but that doesn't explain
During
why...
the test, something must have occurred. When Alpha returns, we can find out.
Poor Professor Clark. Well, we'll have to notify the police.
There's only the sheriff. In any case, I think we should wait till morning and then report the professor's death as an accident.
An accident?
Yes. If the authorities learn the truth, our research may be stopped. And when Professor Clark has achieved so much, can we let it go for nothing?
No, of course not.
Dr. Dale, we must carry on his work for him.
Yes, that's what he would want.
Then you will help me continue it? You'll stay?
Yes. Yes, I'll stay.
Greatly upset by the tragedy, Dr. Dale returned to bed and at last fell into an uneasy sleep, haunted by dreams of Alpha, the metal monster Professor Clark had created. When he awoke, the sun was shining, and he could hear Barton moving about downstairs. He dressed and went down to find Barton getting breakfast ready.
Oh, good morning, Dr. Dale.
Good morning, Barton. Any sign of Alpha?
Not yet.
Well, we ought to start a search for him.
But first, I think you ought to eat breakfast. Everything's ready.
Oh, all right. Some coffee anyway.
Yes. Sit here.
Thank you. I didn't know you were a cook as well as a lab assistant, Barton.
I've learned to do a lot of things since I came here.
Aren't you going to eat, too?
I'm not hungry. I seldom am. But I thought that while you ate, I might outline some of the problems facing us.
That's a good idea.
You see, though Alpha's brain is of synthetic protoplasm, it is not completely artificial.
I was wondering about that. Sheriff Ramsey mentioned that the professor had secured a human brain
from an executed killer, yes. The professor found that to give life to his artificial brain tissue, it was necessary to add a small amount of tissue from a real brain.
I see. The real tissue gave life to the rest. Of course.
Yes, but in this instance, it may have tainted Alpha's brain with the murderous impulse of a killer.
Yes, that sounds plausible.
So our first problem will be to obtain untainted brain tissues to blend with the artificial tissues we will make according to the professor's formula.
That should give us no trouble. I can get what we need through the research laboratories where I'm connected.
Then that solves our worst problem. The rest will be matters of detail. Fortunately, there's enough equipment here to build a dozen or so robots.
Like Alpha, you mean?
No. The far more advanced type Professor Clark was perfecting. And now, if you've finished, I have something to show you.
Yes, I'm through. I don't feel much like eating after last night.
Then come with me to the laboratory, and I'll show you the second surprise that Professor Clark had in store for you. Here we are. Now, what I'm going to show you is in this box.
Another robot?
Yes. A second mechanical man the professor built a few months ago. This one, though, was a failure.
You mean it wouldn't work?
It worked too well.
I don't follow.
It was too intelligent. Professor Clark called it Beta. And Beta's brain power was greater than that of any human scientist who ever lived. But Beta was insane.
Good Lord.
He represented, however, a tremendous technical advance. Look.
It looks exactly like a human being.
Yes. Professor Clark used me for a model when he built Beta.
It's an excellent likeness.
Touch the face, Doctor.
Oh, all right. It feels smooth and rubbery with a hard surface underneath.
The surface is a new plastic Professor Clark developed with which he could imitate exactly the appearance of human skin. Underneath is an aluminum body on which the plastic was baked.
I see.
Beta's hair, eyes, and teeth are all artificial, too. But he walked and talked and acted so much like a human being that no man alive could have guessed his secret.
No, he would have fooled me completely. And you say he was insane?
From the human viewpoint, yes. He considered himself superior to the human race. With his enormous brain power, he intended to make himself ruler of the world.
You're joking.
Not in the least. That was why Professor Clark destroyed him just in time. He had made plans to take over this laboratory and construct dozens of mechanical men like himself. And then, with their help, he was going to enslave all mankind.
Barton, if that could happen once, it might happen again. I don't believe we should continue Professor Clark's work after all.
Oh, there's no danger now, Doctor. You see, Beta also had a brain which contained tissues taken from that of the condemned murderer, but we will select the brain tissues from the highest types that are available.
Yes, but even so,
Then, Doctor, we will produce mechanical men, tireless, indestructible, who will be mankind's willing servants, who will solve for man problems he can't solve for himself.
I wonder. In any case, we must proceed with the utmost caution.
Of course. Doctor, listen.
Someone's come into the house.
It's Alpha. He's come back.
Alpha, we may need a weapon, Barton.
No, I can control him. Alpha. Alpha, come here.
Alpha comes.
Alpha, you killed Professor Clark. Why did you do it?
Professor said he would destroy Alpha.
And you killed him because of that?
Alpha does not want to be destroyed.
But you're just a machine. What difference does it make to you?
Alpha is machine that lives. Alpha is stronger than you. Alpha is better than you.
Alpha, be quiet.
We must destroy Alpha at once.
You are right, Doctor. Do you hear, Alpha? You are to be punished.
Alpha here.
But first, we want to know where you've been. Did anyone see you?
Men saw Alpha.
Men saw you? What do you mean?
2 men driving automobiles saw him.
And what did they do?
They tried to hit Alpha with automobile.
And then what happened?
Alpha stopped automobile. Alpha killed 1 man.
Killed him?
Other man ran off in woods. Alpha could not find him. Alpha came back.
We can't keep this a secret. No matter what happens, we must notify the authorities at once.
No, wait, let me think. We can't...
The bell, there's someone at the door.
I'll see who it is. You stay here.
But what about Alpha?
I'll switch off his batteries, then he can't move. There. Now I'll see who's at the door.
Dr. Dale waited while Barton went to the door. He heard the door open and recognized the excited voice of Sheriff Ramsey speaking. Then a moment later, Barton came back into the laboratory, followed by the sheriff, who held a revolver in his hand.
But, Sheriff, if you'd only let me explain...
Never mind that. You're coming with me, both of you.
Dr. Dale, perhaps you can reason with the sheriff. He insists that we're under arrest.
Yes, and I'm taking you to the lockup. The professor, too. Where is he?
Professor Clark is dead, Sheriff.
Dead?
He was killed last night when an experiment he was engaged in went wrong.
An experiment, huh? I suppose it was an experiment that crushed the life out of him. It crushed the life out of Jed Thompson an hour ago down the road and scared Fred Jennings so bad all he can do is jabber about monsters.
It's true. The thing that killed both the professor and Thompson is an experiment. It's standing there behind...
Behind... A machine. A man made out of machinery.
Oh, don't be alarmed, Sheriff. It's perfectly harmless now. It is a machine man which Professor Clark built. Unfortunately, it got out of control.
I don't believe it.
I don't blame you, Sheriff, but that's the truth.
I think I can convince you.
What are you doing? Stand still.
I'm simply going to switch Alpha on. There. Now he can move and speak as well as you and me.
That thing talk? You're lying. You're up to something.
Alpha, will you tell the sheriff that it was you who killed Mr. Thompson?
Alpha killed him. He tried to hit Alpha with car.
So that's what the professor was up to all this time. Building that thing.
Now, Sheriff, surely you realize that we are not murderers.
Maybe not, but you'll come to jail just the same. You're partly responsible anyhow.
But, Sheriff...
Anyway, it's for your own protection. There's a mob on its way out here from town. They're going to burn this place down.
What?
I got to put you in jail for your own safety. They're ready to lynch you right now.
Burn the place down?
That's what I said. So turn that machine thing off and come along. We ain't got much time.
No. All this equipment, machinery, the professor's notes, they must not be destroyed. We must stop them.
Yes, Sheriff, the lost to science.
Never mind science. You got your own skins to worry about. That mob means business. Let's get started.
I'm afraid we can't do that, Sheriff.
You can't. I got a six-shooter here that says different.
We have no choice, partner.
Oh, yes, we have. Alpha, take the gun away from this man.
What are you doing? Stop him! Stop him or else... No! Let me go!
Stop him!
Too late. Too late, Dr. Dale. He's dead.
Alpha crushed him.
Yes, Dr. Dale.
Now, you're a murderer.
In a good cause. The life of one man or of a dozen men cannot stand in my way.
You don't expect me to keep silent about this, do you?
I think you will. Alpha. Alpha.
He doesn't answer.
His batteries have gone dead. That last burst of energy must have drained them dry. But it makes no difference.
I think it does. A big difference. There, see this? It's Sheriff Ramsey's revolver with 3 bullets still in it. Now put your hands up.
I must explain something to you, Doctor.
You can talk, but if you move, I'll shoot.
I only want to say that nothing is going to interfere with my plan to build more of the improved form of robots that Professor Clark perfected before his death. Robots who look and act so much like men, no one can detect them.
They'll never be built. I intend to destroy all of Professor Clark's notes.
They will be built by me. I shall build 10, 100, 1,000. Then I shall lead them with a superior intelligence to the mastery of the world.
You're mad. Of course I should have guessed.
No, Doctor, that's not the answer. I shall tell you the truth. And then you must die.
Stand still or I'll shoot.
You remember last night when the professor said he had another surprise for you? An even greater surprise than Alpha?
Yes.
That surprise, Doctor, was Beta, the second robot. So perfect it looked like a man, but so intelligent that human beings were as children in comparison.
But Beta was destroyed.
No, Doctor, Beta was not destroyed. But you must be destroyed.
Stand back. Stand back, I say. All right, then I'll shoot.
And now, Doctor, your bullets are gone.
You aren't even hurt.
Bullets cannot harm me. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Beta, the second robot, was not destroyed.
But I saw him.
What you saw was only an initial attempt that failed. The real Beta still exists. You see, Dr. Dale, I am Beta.
You?
Yes, I, too, am a mechanical man. And now, you must die.
No. No, stay away from me. Stay away!
This is the mysterious traveler again. What happened to Dr. Dale? Why, he's still alive, but of course under observation in a hospital. In fact, it was he who told me the story. You see, the mob that was coming to burn down the house arrived just in time to save him. But Barton, or Beta as he called himself, escaped. He could hardly have survived all those bullets if he had been human, could he? I wonder if the story is true. Do you suppose that somewhere a strange individual who is really a robot is making other mechanical men, preparing to carry out Barton's plan to rule the world? Oh, you haven't time to talk about it now. You're getting off here. I'm sorry. But perhaps we'll meet again soon. I take this same train every week at this same time.
You've just heard Chapter 19 of The Mysterious Traveler, a series of dramas of the strange and terrifying, brought to you each week by station WOR. In tonight's story, Beware of Tomorrow, Will Hare played Dr. Dale, and Don Randolph played Barton. Also featured were Maurice Tarplin and Philip Clark. The Mysterious Traveler, written by Bob Arthur and David Cogan, is directed by Jock McGregor. Original music was played by Doc Whipple. Listen next week to a tale titled
The Accusing Corpse.
Another Tale of the Mysterious Traveler. The Mysterious Traveler is presented over WOR Mutual every Sunday at 7 over most of these stations. This is Mutual.
Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe.